The aim of this presentation is to reflect the environmental problems identified across the UAE offices through different methodologies in order to offer potential solutions and recommendations for a healthy environment and sustainable future.
The selected venues for our study are Emirates Airline Engineering Facility and Wasl Sales Office. As for the engineering facilities, it consists of both offices within the aircraft maintenance hangars and offices isolated from the hangars. On the other hand, Wasl Sales Offices is located in the middle of a construction site, consisting of 2 lounges, 6 customer service counters, a back office, and a kitchenette, all in ground floor. Our qualitative methodology involved 2 field visits where we utilized special instruments to measure light flux, humidity, and temperature, in addition to several online meetings to share the findings. The temperature and humidity combinations are beyond the literature recommendations for best employee productivity, providing an alert system that reacts when the combinations are of the desired values would be a solution. Also, the literature recommends a leading company to study the office design and provide a suitable HVAC system upgrade.
On the other hand, in Wasl Sales Office, the thermal condition is not unified throughout the office, as some areas are very cold while others are very hot. And the recommendation is to check the AC air circulation and to reallocate the offices that exposing to the sunlight directly all the day to other places.
Sound pollution is due to the nearby maintenance activities, which affect employee productivity. Implementing sound barriers between physical maintenance area and PC workstations is a good solution. Also, the literature recommends proofing the wall lining and ceiling with noise reduction and absorption material.
As Wasl office is located in the heart of construction area, the noise of the sand trucks and the excavators affecting the concentration of the employees. So I would recommend that the glass of the office to be soundproofing and to set regulations for the big trucks to avoid working during the office hours. And as per the literature, changing the furniture to a new design that is sound absorbing is also suggested.
The light flux levels measured are below standards for offices and are not consistent. The best solution found in the literature is to follow engineering illuminating standards and guidelines in order to determine the light level required and the correct, most efficient source of lighting system and distribution.
Ratio, it was 299 in the dark operation place. So let's check the other counters area where we have to test the light, and here the reading is much better. It's 1,300, it's 1,400 lux, which means this area has a very perfect lighting rating. I would recommend to allocate the back office employees in another office for better visual performance.
The working area has a lot of induced dust and particles that are harmful to the breathing system due to the opening of hangar doors. The hangar doors should be combined with the buffering area to disallow dust and other particles from invading the working space.
The dust is accumulated from the construction side, affects the employees negatively, especially for those with asthma. So we would recommend ensuring that the doors are closed and the frequency of cleaning the dust should be increased. And the literature advised that installing an exhaust ventilation system and industrial vacuum system of HEPA filters, grade proven to reduce dust by 99.7%. Unpleasant odor is coming from the kitchenette, which is close to the customer care counters, so both customers and employees could smell the food cooking in the microwave. Also, the chemicals used in cleaning and air freshener have a very strong smell that some employees with asthma cannot stand it. We would recommend removing the microwave from the kitchenette and replace it in the pantry. Also, replacing the strong smelled chemicals with no smell and organic one, and ensuring that they are kept in safe place with hazard sign. The waste of each office is collected only one time at the end of the day and might include some smelly food remains which will result attracting insects and bacteria. Also, there is no recycle bins to make use of the waste papers or plastic drinking bottles. So we would recommend to increase the frequency of collecting the waste and placing recycle bins. The energy bill of the office is quite high as the office working hours are 9, and after these hours the security remains in the office until next day. So we would recommend fixing solar panels that can generate energy after the working hours are over and fixing smart light sensors. Also, spreading the awareness among the employees and the security is very important for the energy consumption and saving the environment.
Due to hangar doors being open for aircrafts to enter or leave, animals, birds, and insects are allowed to enter the working environment. Hence, the company should implement a stricter pest control system and the working area should be enhanced with traps for animals. A net system could be implemented while the hangar doors are being opened to prevent animals from entering. Due to COVID situation, the majority of aircrafts are grounded, and dangerous goods need to be stored while the storage capacity is not designed for this situation. The literature suggests following certain ISO standards guidelines for worst-case scenario of storing DG units. It was noticed during the field visits that several drainage, rain extraction, and water taps are leaking and causing a massive increase in consumption, not to mention the environmental side effects. The solution found in the literature is that the company needs to perform periodic checks and maintenance and apply leakage control guidelines.
After detecting the environmental problems of UAE offices, it's our duty to come up with an innovative solution to maintain the ecological guidelines within the UAE offices. Our innovation got inspired by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, who believes that UAE is ready to embrace technological advances and seeks to employ artificial intelligence to enhance everyday life in the country. UAE aims to become global leader in artificial intelligence by 2031. So we proposed Greeno. Greeno is our smart robot that will be programmed to monitor all the environmental issues in the offices, generating daily report of all abnormal readings. It will also detect any employee with fever, which is one of COVID-19 symptoms, to ensure healthy environment. In addition, it will monitor the heart rate of the employees to preserve their health. Greeno will be the health protector of the office, which will affect the employees positively. They will feel protected and their well-being is their company's priority. Accordingly, their productivity and belonging will be increased. It will also enhance their sustainable awareness. In order to get a proper feedback for implementing Greeno in workplace, we have made surveys to our 4 stakeholders, which are manufacturers and retailers, business owners, employees, and public.
Our first stakeholder are manufacturers and retailers, that 40% chose number 4 in the rating while 28% chose number 5. That UAE offices are adopting healthy sustainable measures, which indicate their trust of the country of following sustainable strategies. Also, they chose equally with 14% that offices' air quality and sick employees around are the 2 major problems that employees are facing in their workplace. In addition, we found 77% of the participants are welcoming the proposed suggestion of adopting Greeno at their workplace. Furthermore, 11% of the participants choose equally that Greeno would be beneficial in improving the indoor air quality and energy consumption. Moreover, the cost of Greeno and the exposure of some technical risks are chosen as the most 2 barriers to implement the innovation in the offices. On the other hand, the manufacturers and retailers chose easy payment plan as the most motivation to purchase Greeno, with 14% followed by 13%. Who chose regular maintenance as the second motivator. Finally, we found out some interesting suggestions such as to assign government agencies to implement it in all offices. 50% of business owners rated 4 and 5 that UAE offices are adopting healthy sustainable measures, while 23% chose to rate it 3, which reflect UAE's image of following the green strategies. Moving to the second question, 15% equally believe that air quality and noise and improper ventilation are the main environmental problems facing the offices across UAE. Moreover, significantly 84% of the business owners agreed on the proposed robot Greeno to be implemented in their work environment. 14% of the participants justified their acceptance mainly for maintaining the office's hygiene, while 13% equally believed that Greeno would be beneficial in detecting any environmental hazards and raising the office quality standards. Furthermore, 20% think that the cost would be a major barrier to implement Greeno in the workplace, followed by 15% who considers the lack of information and guidelines of a new robot would be another barrier. On the other hand, 36% believed that providing special budget, regular maintenance, and by training workers would be a significant motivator for implementing Greeno. Finally, some business owners left their interesting suggestions such as provide more information for business owners by advertising on business platforms.
The employees survey indicates that 64% choose high rating the UAE for adopting sustainable guidelines, which highlights the sense of security among UAE workers. Also, 17% choose the noise as one of the environment problems that the employees are facing in the offices, followed by 15% choose air quality. In addition, 88% of the participants believed in our innovative approach, Greeno, for healthy work environments. Also, 14% thinks that Greeno is important for maintaining the office hygiene. Moreover, 23% believe that the cost of the robot would be a main barrier to implement it in their offices. In contrast, 14% indicated that if Greeno is provided with special budget would be a significant motivator to adapt it in the offices. Some employees left the survey with remarkable notes, such as that the robot should be interacting with people of determination. Our last stakeholder is the public, that 57% highly rated UAE in adapting sustainable strategies, while 36% choose scale 3, which is medium rate, that mirrors the trust toward the country in adapting ecological guidelines. Also, 15% thinks that the noise is one of the environmental issues that the employees are facing, followed by the air quality by 14% of the participants. Expressively, 92% of the participants encourage adapting our environmental innovation Greeno to be implemented in UAE offices, which indicates the sustainable awareness of the public and the efficiency of the robot. Moreover, 13% indicates that Greeno would be beneficial in maintaining the office hygiene, followed by 24% who thinks it will preserve the employees' well-being and detect any environmental hazards. Moreover, the cost appears again with 22% of the contributors as the main barrier in implementing Greeno in UAE offices. Consequently, 12% believe that providing special budget would be an attractive motivator for the innovation implementation. Finally, some participants provided a valuable suggestion that there should be a partnership between Greeno and DIWA.
It is quite obvious from our survey responses for all 4 stakeholders that Greeno is welcome to office environments across the UAE. We may conclude that majority are appreciating the innovative solution Greeno based on the highest rate of response that Greeno will be beneficial in maintaining office hygiene. The most environmental issue rated was noise, and the biggest barrier is cost, where all stakeholders agreed that special budget and easy payment plans will be the best implementation motivator. Moreover, we found in the literature that Marquise and Dubabin have earlier studied the advancement in robotic technologies and confirmed that robotic systems are able of achieving large-scale environmental monitoring They also concluded in their research that robots are offering efficient and precise measurement of environmental processes and will push forward the future of natural sciences. This is based on scientific evidence and fundamental data gathering. Hence, we can surely state that Greeno is the future of environmental sustainability in offices.
Have reached the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening, and we are ready for any questions.